Hi Ellen, how are you? So if you wanted to come over and take a
So what's happening tonight is that we've got a group of people from the city gathered around the table, which is an art installation which we've had at the back of the cathedral now for a few months, designed for the ruins as a theoretical project by a student from Coventry University, and then actually constructed with a grant by the City Arcadia project, and now having been used on a number of occasions to actually bring people together for food, for conversation, to build community. And I'm delighted that it's happening in the back of the cathedral.
How are you doing? There's always about a million things going on. So public involvement in
director, and my role is lady. And it sounds funny, doesn't it, saying you lady? They want to be involved. Yeah.
I've worked for them. I've worked for them every year.
Echo! Well, we would just like to say welcome to Hunger, and it's an absolute pleasure that you've all made it this evening and have signed up for what was actually much more of an experiment than I think any of us anticipated when we were putting this event together. Now, Joanna originally conceived her table for the cathedral ruins. So when John came along to the first meal in the City Arcade and just was so excited by it, it felt like an absolute completion of the cycle of what happens when somebody's got an idea for something and you support them to kind of realise it and build it. The first thing to do for this evening is to make sure that you don't go hungry for food.
Can't go one round in the Chinese male of
Spider-Man.
Are we being recorded?
Is that Spider-Man?
Is that on one?
So what are you doing now?
How do you make people feel as if they can just sort of be here?
He started about the same time.
Actually went to this wedding. Looking at this screen.
About getting the specialist, any problem with the transport?
So if I'm doing the reverse, I'm just going to go one to the side, and I
Could you write down a little bit of information about what you're thinking about?
One of our City Arcadia projects was to work with a architecture graduate called Joanna Krasteva, Romanian architecture graduate, who had just finished studying at Coventry University and who had an idea for building a peace and reconciliation table. So she'd kind of got this wonderful design, but hadn't ever sort of really imagined actually building it. And, as artists, as fabricators, as people that kind of generally make things happen, we saw it as a wonderful opportunity to kind of realise that. So with Joanna, two artists, Martin Malone and Ryan Hughes, with a bunch of fantastic architecture students from Coventry University, we worked to actually build and create this table.
Which actually is important as well.
To be.
oh yeah, well, he has witness on this.
But the thing that was almost most interesting about it was the rabbi who came, a friend of mine who I got a bit linked up with, who wrote for the catalogue and gave a bit of introduction.
Just those. Right. Okay. Just those books, and I want to talk to.
What are the books on?
Well, they're books that have been nominated by the artists that we're working with.
If you're eating, you've got plenty of props. If something's
not go in a certain way, or if you want to steer it in a certain way, you can sort of finish what you're eating, or have another mouthful, or have another drink, or help yourself to something.
But the car industry didn't ever put any real money into the city centre, so when the car industry went, so did the city centre pretty much, didn't it? Because all of the businesses that had been relying on people having money to spend with their businesses then kind of folded as well, and it's like, you know, they haven't left that much of a legacy.
If you're fortunate enough to have a full-time paid job, they will be paid for a week of very hard work.
Well, it's interesting that it also has a function as well,
Yeah.
rather than just being an
Well,
image.
that's the point. So, I mean, it is just a table, but actually it's back to that thing before about kind of how much meaning do you need behind a thing. But actually, as soon as you start talking about what it stands for, and for me, it still brings to mind when I first sat at it down in the arcade, which I just thought was just so excellent.